What's up, guys and ghouls? Welcome to Living Dead Garage, where we bring the dead back to life. Today's episode, we're working on an 81 Trans Am. Just so happens to be an LS swapped unit. And we are putting a Pypes catback exhaust on. Let's get into it. So we have, like I said, an 81 Trans Am. A little bit unique unit here. A little rough around the edges, but the underneath of it is actually really solid. We got some custom seats, horseshoe shifter, complimentary peanuts, some aftermarket gauges, power locks, power windows, that's nice. Oh, but wait. We got a 74 or 75 front clip on her with the shaker that's not functional, obviously. I, for one, kind of prefer this front end over the 81. Let me know what you think. I don't own this car. This is for a buddy of mine. But he bought this. It was somebody's project. They pretty much LS swapped it. Supposedly this engine is built. He didn't get a build sheet with it, but they claimed it was pushing over 500 horse. And I can confirm that because I did take it for a drive, and holy hell, yes, this thing rips. So I've been working on this thing for him here and there. He brought it to me with a misfire, and fuel air ratio was all out of whack, and it turned out we had intake gasket leak, and I fixed that up, and now it's here for a full exhaust system because right now it's just straight piped, and she's rowdy, but it just sounds trashy, and then which is why we got this Pypes exhaust here. It's comes with a set of mufflers, the Violator edition. They're supposed to be the loudest ones. So yeah, I'm gonna start with unboxing our exhaust, and I'll kind of give you a little rundown on how this exhaust goes on. I know there's a lot of videos on the YouTube on how to put these exhaust systems on, but one more won't hurt. All right, got our exhaust all unboxed. Looks to be complete. Anytime you order, bolt-on parts or anything like that, you want to make sure everything's there, nothing's missing. So the kit includes your X-pipe, which I prefer an X-pipe. It just makes the exhaust sound a lot better in my opinion. Everybody's got their opinion on, straight pipes are more horsepower, X-pipes are more, but I don't care. X-pipe sounds the best in my opinion, but that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. But we have the X-pipe, a couple 12-inch extender pipes if needed, and then we got our Violator mufflers. I'm excited to hear those. And we got our over the actual loops or hoops, whatever you want to call, up to the tailpipes. Come with hangers pre-welded, and we got 12 clamps, 2 brand new hangers, and 2 new hangers for the tailpipe if needed, but we have stock ones in place that we might use. Well, maybe not that one. That one's a little broken. But this is what we're working with here. Oh, I see we got a little bit of rot in this rear bumper here, which is very common in these because, the tire slings the mud and salt and water all up in here, and it just rots. Ooh, I should probably address that at some point. Yeah. Leaf springs for sure are going to be needed. But anyway, it's got a fuel cell, so we don't have the fuel tank in the way here, so that helps me out a lot. I can get up in here nice and easy. I won't be banging my head on the darn thing. But before he got this thing, somebody did have mufflers on here, but they just cut them out for whatever reason. I don't know why. But yeah, we're welded right to the manifold exhaust headers, I mean, there, and it stops right about there. So depending on how the old X pipe lines up, I might splice it here. I don't really want to have to go up here because they already have this bent to clear the cross member. So I'm going to mock some stuff up here and see what's going to work. Also, subframe connectors, that's nice, and slapper bars that are missing the rubber dampener, so they're kind of useless, and this thing's an open diff at the moment, so yeah, all that horsepower and only one wheel. So we're going to address that in the future too, but you know, we're on a budget here, so we're just doing what we can with my friend's budget here. So yeah, we are gonna get underway here. There's all kinds of stuff wrong with this thing, like inner fender well is all loose. All that's loose. They kind of just slapped this front clip on and put it for sale. So that's a story for another day, but I'm going to start mocking some stuff up and I'll get back to you with an update. All right, here's where we're at. Anytime you're putting an exhaust on, typically you want the vehicle on its own weight on a 4-post lift. That way, you know where your clearances are going to be for your drive shaft and rear end and such. Right now I just have this dangerously lifting the back end up just to put some weight under it. It's not going to tip or nothing like that. But right now I have it mocked up. Got all the clamps in place, snugged. Everything lines up very well. Big surprise. Nope, not really. These exhaust systems are really good. It actually lined up to the existing exhaust, like perfect. Almost too perfect. And I know I was all excited and about the X pipe, but I think I'm going to save my buddy some money and not put the X pipe on, and I'll save that for a future project, possibly that, and I'll knock some a few bucks off the price of the exhaust. I'm sure he won't mind. Always like to save some money, but this is looking really good. All the hangers lined up and everything. The only thing is this fuel line, they just had zip tied over here and it's way too close to the exhaust for my comfort. And they just kind of got it fished through the floor here, and they made a grommet out of electrical tape, which is, I don't have words for that, but we're gonna have to address this, make it safe for the owner. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and send it. This one is still loose, gotta adjust it to match that side. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think we're just gonna go with it. I'll get this all snugged up, get that fuel line adjusted, and set this thing back on the ground and hear it. And also after that, I have to fix a header gasket on the driver's side. It's leaking like crazy, so I'm gonna go ahead and tighten all this up, and we'll get back to the rest of it. All right, got the car back on the ground. They're a little uneven, but I'm going to be putting some tips on there. We can adjust that accordingly later. Before I start it though, as much as I want to hear it, I got to address the header leak before I start it, because I don't want this to be a million degrees while I'm trying to replace it. So I'm going to pop that gasket off. Hopefully I don't snap any header bolts. Shouldn't, they haven't really been in that long, and plus they backed out, which caused the gasket to fail in the first place. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace those, and or replace that, and we're gonna hear this thing fire up. All right, got the whole gasket out. You could see there, she blowed out right there, and there, and there. And it was starting to there. The reason this happened was those bolts ended up backing out over time. When you install headers, manifolds, you want to get a tight, put them on, get a couple heat cycles in them, and then recheck them. Because with the expanding and contracting of heat cycles, the gaskets are gonna shrink, and so on and so forth. So you want to make sure you do that. I'm gonna throw a new one in here. Put anti-seize on the bolts because those are aluminum heads with steel hardware. Always do that, otherwise you're gonna have the infamous manifold bolt snapped off in the head of the LS. All right, 74 cuss words later, I got that header gasket replaced. I am gonna turn the key on this thing and see how it sounds. See if it was worth the headache. Actually, it really wasn't much of a headache at all, but
cashback rebate to a community.
there, that's a little easier on the ears. No exhaust stick. That's fixed. As air fuel ratio keeps jumping around like crazy, I'm not sure what that's all about. Yeah, maybe we have a vacuum leak somewhere still. I'm going to hook my computer up, my scan tool, see what codes it's throwing. Maybe it's got a bad O2 sensor or something. Alright, according to my scanner, we got O2 sensor, bank 1 sensor 1, bank 2 sensor 1. I'm going to clear those, run it for a bit, see if that changes. I'm wondering if having the exhaust cut off was messing with it. If not, I'm going to have to look into switching out the O2 sensors. They do look fairly newish, but that doesn't always mean they're good. So I'm going to go ahead and clear these. Take it for a test drive, see if it changes. Still odd, the air fuel goes from rich to lean. Rev it up and it gets to where it's supposed to be. No, and then it's all over the place. Same thing with the idle. I'll have to dig into that. Well, it has been a couple weeks. I had to walk away from this thing. It was really pissing me off. Ended up being a combination of bad grounds and O2 sensors, but she's running pretty nice right now, so I'm going to take this thing for a test drive and really see how this exhaust sounds. Alright, it's so freaking quiet in here now. Before, the pipes were right under my seat and you just couldn't even hear yourself think. This is nice. Get out
thing is rowdy. I was never really an LS swap guy, but I think this thing is starting to change my mind. A little bit of foreshadowing there. Might be some LS swaps in the future on this channel. Frizzle up your beard a little bit. Woo. I gotta say, these Pypes exhaust systems are freaking the cat's ass. Put it on my 79 Camaro and it was great, and I went with the louder style with this car. Kind of wish I would have